Hi guys, and welcome back to this journey towards excellent exam results. In these shorter revision videos, we are going to be breaking down different concepts within the GCSE geography specification. The aim of this is to help us understand the concepts better and to give us the information and confidence we need to answer exam questions. In today's video, we are going to be discussing the population density of the UK. We will talk about urban cores and the rural periphery. Okay, let's get started.
Okay, so we'll start off with a map that shows the population density of the UK. And we are specifically going to be looking at urban cores. Now this here is a choropleth map that shows that population density of the UK. And it's using different shades of green to show population density here in the UK. Population density refers to the number of people living in a specific area. Now that area can be defined in terms of kilometers squared or square kilometers, or sometimes even in miles squared. Now areas can have a high density of population or a low density of population. And the places with high density of population are referred to as densely populated, and the ones that have a low population density are sparsely populated. Now this map here uses the darker shades of green to show the most densely populated areas. And those are areas, as you can see from the key here, that have over 1,000 people living per square kilometer. All the way to the lightest shade of green, where you have less than 50 people per square kilometer. As we can see on the map, the population of the UK is unevenly distributed. That means that it's not equally distributed across the country. The highest population density is concentrated in the major cities, so such as London in the southeast, Birmingham, Liverpool, Manchester, Newcastle, and Glasgow. These areas tend to be the centers for economic activity, so they tend to have the highest number of jobs. They therefore attract a lot of people to come and work in them, and that is what creates a high population density. They are the drivers of the economy because they generate the greatest proportion of the country's GDP. And we know that GDP is a measure of wealth in a country. It's the total value of goods and services that are sold in that country every single year. So such areas are called core regions. And the best example is London, which generates 22 to 25% of the UK's GDP. That's almost a quarter of all the money that is earned in the UK every single year. As these large cities grow, they tend to merge with surrounding towns to form what are called conurbations. The cities of Liverpool, Manchester, Leeds, Bradford, and Sheffield are referred to as the northern powerhouse for the northern region of the UK. Okay, so we'll be looking at an example of a rural periphery area here in the UK. And the one that our specification has recommended is Allerdale. And Allerdale is in northwest England, in this area over here. Living in the rural periphery has its benefits as well as its limitations. And there are some benefits of living in Allerdale. Now the first one is cheaper homes due to the distance from the urban core. Now because there is less economic activity in Allerdale, the cost of homes is going to be lower because there is less demand for them. Then there is also less traffic, congestion, and air pollution. And Allerdale is a lot quieter and more scenic than the urban cores. There is also a perceived better quality of life, and it's due to the above factors that in 2015 Allerdale was said to have the happiest residents in the UK. Now the limitations of living in Allerdale. One of those is an aging population. Now an aging population in Allerdale is as a result of retirement migration. So when people move out of urban cores to go and live in the rural periphery, like Allerdale, due to the benefits that we have just mentioned. And then it's also due, that aging population is also due to out-migration of the younger people. Now, because there's less economic activity, the younger people are likely to move out to the cities to find, better opportunities there. And this can actually lead to a brain drain in these areas. Another limitation that we'll discuss here is low incomes. The jobs in these areas tend to be in the primary sector of industry. And obviously those jobs will pay a lot less. So if you're working in farming or fishing, then you're likely to be paid a lot less than somebody who is working in another sector, especially in the tertiary sector. The jobs are also in tourism, and tourism also tends to be seasonal in such areas and does not pay as much. The next limitation we'll look at is poor public transport, and that is due to how remote these areas are. And this can lead to high transportation costs or high transport costs, such that if you want to move around these particular areas, the cost of doing that is likely to be quite high. Then there's poor investment from businesses and from TNCs, and this is mainly because of that remoteness and the fact that there aren't as many people, there's not as much economic activity, and therefore businesses and TNCs investing here would not be able to make as much money as they would like to. Now, the reason why we are comparing and contrasting urban cores to the rural periphery is that there tends to be significant economic disparity between urban cores and the rural periphery.
That brings us to the end of this video on the population density of the UK. I hope that you have found the information useful. I have also done a video covering the whole of topic 5 on UK's evolving human landscapes. It will pop up as one of the suggested videos at the end of this one and can also be found in the UK Evolving Human Landscapes playlist. Videos on all the other subtopics within this topic are also in the playlist. Thanks once again for joining in this journey towards excellent exam results. All the best and see you again soon. Bye-bye.